The complete works of Swami Vivekananda JnanaYoga, Chapter 7, God in Everything, Part 2. So do your work, says the Vedanta. It first advises us how to work. By giving up the apparent elusive world. What is meant by that? Seeing God everywhere. Thus do you work. Desire to live 100 years. Have all earthly desires if you wish. Only defy them. Convert them into heaven. Have the desire to live a long life of helpfulness, of blissfulness and activity on this earth. Thus working, you will find the way out. There is no other way. If a man plunges headlong into foolish luxuries of the world without knowing the truth, he has missed his footing. He cannot reach the goal. And if a man curses the world, goes into the forest, mortifies his flesh, and kills himself little by starvation, makes his heart a barren waste, kills out all feelings and becomes harsh, stern, and dried up, that man has also missed the way. These are the two extremes, two mistakes at either end. Both have lost the way, both have missed the goal. So work, says the Vedanta, putting God in everything and knowing Him to be in everything. Work incessantly, holding life as something defied, as God Himself, and knowing that this is all that we have to do. This is all that we should ask for. God is in everything. Where else shall we go to find Him? He is already in every work, in every thought, in every feeling. Thus, knowing we must work. This is the only way. There is no other. Thus, all the effects of work will not bind us. We have seen how false desires are the cause of all misery and evil we suffer. But when they are thus defeated, purified through God, they bring no evil, they bring no misery. Those who have not learned the secret will have to live in a demonical world until they discover it. Many do not know what an infinite mine of bliss is in them, around them, everywhere. They have not yet discovered it. What is this demonical world? The Vedanta says ignorance. We are dying of thirst sitting on the banks of the mightiest river. We are dying of hunger sitting near heaps of food. Here is the blissful universe, yet we do not find it. We are in it all the time and we are always mistaking it. Religion proposes to find this out for us. The longing for this blissful universe is in all hearts. It has been the search of all nations. It is the goal of all religion. And this ideal is expressed in various languages and different religions. It is only the difference of language that makes all these apparent divergences. One expresses a thought in one way, another a little differently. Yet perhaps each is meaning exactly what the other is expressing in a little different language. More questions arise in connection with this. It is very easy to talk. From my childhood, I have heard of seeing God everywhere in everything. And then I can really enjoy the world. But as soon as I mix with the world and get a few blows from it, the idea vanishes. I am walking into the street thinking that God is in every man, and a strong man comes along and gives me a push and I fall flat on the footpath. Then I rise up quickly with a clenched fist. The blood has rushed into my head. And the reflection goes. Immediately I become mad. Everything is forgotten. Instead of countering God, I see the devil. Ever since we were born, we have been told to see God in all. Every religion teaches that. See God in everything and everywhere. Do you not remember in the New Testament how Christ says so? We have all been taught that. But it is when we come to the practical side that the difficulty really begins. You all remember how in Aesop's fables, a fine stag is looking at his form reflected in a lake and is saying to his young one, "How powerful I am! Look at my splendid head, look at my limbs, how strong and muscular they are, and how swiftly I can run." In the meantime, he hears the barking of dogs in a distance and immediately takes to his heels. And after he has run several miles, he comes back panting. The young one says, "You just told me how strong you were. How was it that when a dog barked, you ran away?" "Yes, my son. But when the dogs bark, all my confidence vanishes." Such is the case with us. We think very highly of humanity. We feel ourselves strong and valiant. We make grand resolves. But when the dogs of trial and temptation bark, we are all like the stag in the fable. Then, if such is the case, what is the use of teaching all these things? There is the greatest use. The use is this, that perseverance will finally conquer. Nothing can be done in a day. The self is first to be heard, then to be thought upon, and then to be meditated upon. Everyone can see the sky. Even the worm crawling upon the earth sees the blue sky. But how very far away it is. So it is with our ideal. It is very far away, no doubt. But at the same time, we know that we must have it. We must even have the highest ideal. Unfortunately, in this life, the vast majority of persons are groping through this dark life without any ideal at all. If a man with an ideal makes 1,000 mistakes, I am sure that a man without any ideal makes 50,000. Therefore, it is better to have an ideal. And this ideal we must hear about as much as we can, till it enters into our hearts, into our brains, into our very veins, until it tingles in every drop of our blood and permeates every pore in our body. We must meditate upon it. Out of the fullness of the heart the mouth speaketh, and out of the fullness of the heart the hand works too. It is thought which is the propelling force in us. Fill the mind with the highest thoughts, hear them day after day, think them month after month. Never mind failures, they are quite natural. They are the beauty of the life, these failures. What would life be without them? It would not be worth having it if it were not for struggles. What would be the poetry of life? Never mind the struggles, the mistakes. I have never heard a cow tell a lie, but it is only a cow, never a man. So never mind these failures, these little backslidings. Hold an ideal 1,000 times, and if you fail 1,000 times, make the attempt once more. The ideal of man is to see God in everything. But if you cannot see Him in everything, see Him in one thing, in that thing which you like the best. Then see Him in another. So on you can go. There is infinite life before the soul. Take your time and you will achieve your end. He, the one who vibrates more quickly than mind, who attains to more speed than mind can ever do, whom even the gods reach out, not through grasps. He, moving everything moves. In him all exists. He is moving, he is also immovable. He is near and he is far. He is inside everything, he is outside everything, interpenetrating everything. Whoever sees in every being that same Atman, and whoever sees everything in that Atman, he never goes very far from that Atman. When all life and the whole universe are seen in this Atman, then alone man has attained the secret. There is no more delusion for him. Where is any more misery for him who sees this oneness in the universe? This is another great theme of the Vedanta, this oneness of life, this oneness of everything. We shall see how it demonstrates that all our misery comes through ignorance. And this ignorance is the idea of manifoldness. This separation between man and man, between nation and nation, between earth and moon, between moon and sun. Out of this idea of separation between atom and atom comes all misery. But the Vedanta says this separation does not exist. It is not real. It is merely apparent on the surface. In the heart of things there is unity still. If you go below the surface, you will find unity between man and man, between races and races, high and low, rich and poor, gods and men and animals. If you go deep enough, all will be seen as only variations of the one. And he who has attained to this conception of oneness has no more delusion. What can delude him? He knows the reality of everything, the secret of everything. Where is there any more misery for him? What does he desire? He has traced the reality of everything to the Lord, the center, the unity of everything. And that is eternal existence, eternal knowledge, eternal bliss. Neither death nor disease nor sorrow nor misery nor discontent is there. All is perfect union and perfect bliss. For whom should he mourn then? In reality there is no death, there is no misery. In the reality there is no one to mourn for, no one to be sorry for. He has penetrated everything, the pure one, the formless, the bodiless, the stainless. He is the knower, he the great poet, the self-existent, he who is giving to everyone what he deserves. They grope in the dark who worship this ignorant world, the world that is produced out of ignorance, thinking of it as existence. And those who live their whole lives in this world and never find out anything better or higher are groping in still greater darkness. But he who knows the secret of nature, seeing that which is beyond nature, through the help of nature, he crosses death, and through the help of that which is beyond nature, he enjoys eternal bliss. Thou sun, who hast covered the truth with thy golden disk, do thou remove the veil, so that I may see the truth that is within thee. I have known the truth that is within thee. I have known what is the real meaning of thy rays and thy glory, and have seen that which shines in thee. The truth in thee I see, and that which is within thee is within me, and I am that.